Welcome everyone to the Discover Greif webinar series. My name is Cheryl Cottle. I am responsible for marketing and communications for our Global Industrial Packaging Division, and I will be your moderator for today's event. We are pleased that the Global Industrial Packaging and Paper Packaging business units of Greif have joined together today to present this webinar on food packaging. Our packaging touches food products at various points across the supply chain, and our packaging is used from harvesting to processing and transportation. We have containers for liquids, for semi-liquid, semi-solid, dry goods, and powders. And additionally, we have products for retail packaging and display. Today, we have a large group of presenters for you. The four across the top are representatives from around the world whose areas of expertise range from regulations, quality, and engineering. Larry, Berend, Gonal, and Bill all have their areas of expertise, and you can see where they are located around the world, and they'll introduce themselves to you as they are presenting. In addition, we have from sales and marketing, we have some product managers here to share with you our global solutions for food packaging. Let me welcome Alan, Linnea, Luca, Juan, and Jane. Just some housekeeping information for you today. We will be recording the event so we can share with those who are unable to attend, and that recording will go out via email later this afternoon. You'll find a chat button in the center of your screen where you can submit questions at any point during the presentation, and we'll entertain those at the end of the event. During this short 1-hour webinar, our team will review with you the food packaging standards that impact our business. We'll also showcase some of the solutions we have available across all of our product lines. We're happy to share this overview with you, but if you have specific requirements, we ask that you contact your account manager in order for us to work with you to find the best solution for your needs. And then, as I said, we will close with your questions. So let's get started with food packaging standards. It all begins with regulations. We have listed some major ones that are found around the world. Larry and Berend, can you please tell me what's important to know about each of these in your region? And Larry, I'll let you get started first.
Yes, Cheryl. Hello, everyone. My name is Larry Gable, and I work out of the Greif North America headquarters in Delaware, Ohio. In the United States, the requirements for packaging materials are outlined in a section of the FDA Code of Federal Regulations titled Indirect Food Additives. It begins by listing what they call general provisions for the articles that are manufactured with the materials. And then the regulations are categorized into types of materials such as coatings, resins, and adhesives, to name a few. There are other routes to FDA compliance, such as GRAS. You may be familiar with that. GRAS generally recognized as safe. And also there is a food contact notification process. So for more around the world, I'll turn it over to Berend.
Thank you, Larry. Hello, everybody. My name is Berend Golteman. I'm the director of the operations group support group for the EMEA region. I am based in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. These EU regulations displayed here started to evolve in the year 2004 and help us understand the legal requirements for manufacturing of packaging suitable for food contact. The regulations are designed to produce packaging from materials also suitable for food contact with a production method that is designed to safeguard compliance with the rules and regulations, to guarantee safety of the consumer when consuming the foodstuff has been packed. Production should be organized based on HACCP, hazard analysis and critical control points, and GMP, good manufacturing practices and adequate quality standards. Greif has developed specific manuals and tools for implementation of such systems at our facilities. Production facilities that produce packaging suitable for food contact should be audited to ISO standards. Constant review of risks and material properties is necessary. In other words, the quality level should be continuously improved. Our Greif business system is the way we operate. Continuous improvement is embedded in all our systems.
And can you also share with us, does the Chinese National Food Safety Standards have similar standards close to the US and the EU?
Sure, Cheryl, thank you. Absolutely. These standards have been around for about 5 years, and they are, like the EU standards, still developing. They refer to global ISO standards, and we find references to HACCP, the hazard analysis and critical control points, as well as the GMP, good manufacturing practices. Like in the EU regulation, Greif is obliged to use raw materials that are suitable for packaging, suitable for food contact. Compliance of the entire chain of material supply needs to be documented. Some of Greif's manufacturing facilities in China have already been audited by Greif's well-known multinational customers. Thank you all for your attention. Back to you, Larry.
Thank you, Bernd. GFSI, the Global Food Safety Initiative. Over the last 15 to 18 years, GFSI, or the Global Food Safety Initiative, has emerged as the most recognized organization that has reviewed and then endorsed those food safety standards with the objective of global harmonization of those standards that qualify. I like that phrase on our slide there that comes from their website. Once certified, recognized everywhere. And as you folks know, there are GFSI benchmark standards for every phase of the food supply chain. However, we've listed here the only four GFI standards that apply for food packaging materials. We want you to know that there are Greif sites around the globe that have earned certification to FSSC 22000, SQF, or BRC. Now for more on paper, I'll turn it over to Bill Dorr.
Thank you. I'm Bill Dorr. I am the Corporate Environmental Manager with one of the divisions within Greif, PPS, as part of their global corporate offices. And yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about the substrates that we manufacture that go into packaging. Our paper mills are members to the Recycled Paper Technical Association, and we use the acronym RPTA. The RPTA licenses a comprehensive chemical and food safety protocol. And as members of the RPTA, we're required to pass an audit. They use a world-renowned auditor, NSF, to audit compliance to their protocol schemes, and they issue us certifications for compliance. Our mill product certification is then passed on to converters and corrugated and paper coatings, and they use that for their customers. We have a triple wall or a multi-wall corrugated plant that also has Primus auditing, and they are audited to version 1409 of the Primus standards, and they achieve 98% or higher audits. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Gönül Aslan. I am the Global Quality Director of Flexible Products and Services Division. I am based in Turkey. In this webinar, I am going to talk about Greif's quality and product safety approach. We have created our approach to be in line with Greif vision, which is, in industrial packaging, be the best performing customer service company in the world. In order to achieve our vision, we are dedicated to support our customer needs and legislative requirements with our experienced teams and top management's commitment. We implement and maintain food safety programs and hygiene standards in our processes and operations in accordance with the industry needs and regulations. We have a risk-based process management system from raw material supply to the delivery of the end products. As a general best practice, our food safety management systems at some of the locations are certified according to BRC or any similar GFSI recognized standard. We divide the food safety management system into three main categories: food safety, food defense, and food fraud. Food safety is about prevention of unintentional or accidental adulteration. We have a multidisciplinary hazard and risk management team with members from different functions to identify all potential hazards and prepare an HACCP program. Food defense is about prevention of intentional adulteration. We apply a trait assessment with a similar approach. The last one is food fraud, which is about the prevention of intentional, economically motivated adulteration of products. We carry out a documented vulnerability assessment on all our raw materials to assess the potential risk of adulteration. Until now, I covered our commitment about customer requirements and food safety management system applications. To maintain the quality and food safety management systems, continuous improvement is the key. In order to meet the expectations of our customers and fulfill the requirements of the laws and legislations, we continuously improve our products, services, and systems. The inputs for improvement opportunities can be obtained from many sources. Some of the examples are customer feedbacks, internal and external audits. Nowadays, due to travels and on-site visit restrictions, external audits are done virtually at Greif. We are happy to invite our customers to our virtual journey of our facilities. By using these inputs, we pick up opportunities and plan the improvement activities as quality roadmap, training program, preventive action plan, or control measures. Continuous improvement is a never-ending journey for Greif. Once we reach our targets, by setting new targets, we are going to continue to our journey. Thank you.
Thank you. So now let's get started and talk to you a little bit about our solutions. Greif has an extensive global footprint with over 240 facilities in over 40 countries around the world. And we have experts in each of those regions to address your specific needs. Alon, let's get started with the solutions for our steel drums product line.
Yeah, thank you, Cheryl. So my name is Alain Jacob. I'm the product manager for steel drums. Here you see some of examples of food we are putting in our steel drums. The main markets we have for steel drums are the tomato paste, the honey, and the citrus with a high acidic. Next slide, please, Cheryl. So we are using different type of steel drums to fill food. For liquid food, we are using mostly the tighted drums that you can see on the green drum on the left, which are internally lacquered with food approved linings. For paste and solid food, we are using open-head drums. So we have the standard cylindrical drums, which is the blue one. Or we have the conical drums, which is mainly used for the tomato market, which is a huge market for steel drums, with several millions of drums produced every year. These conical drums are used for food juice and food paste as well. And then we have some specialties with our stainless steel drums range, which are able to which are used, for concentrates and some flavors, specific flavors. Next slide, Cheryl. Thank you. Of course, to fit with food, we need to have some protection on the steel. So we have developed a full range of internal lining, which are suitable for food contact. And which respect the BPA limits for each local regulations. And it is okay for adult food, but of course for baby food, you know that we need to use BPA-free linings, and so we have developed a range of BPA-free linings as well to answer these specific regulations. On top of internal lining, we also use some plastic bags, so just a polyethylene or some aseptic bags, which is mainly used for the tomato business. And for export, we also use some composite drums, which is plastic drums, compliant with food, of course, inserted in a steel drum for the mechanical resistance, and so it makes the drums able to travel on long distances. And now I will give the floor to Linnea, who will explain a bit more about the fiber drums. Linnea, the floor is yours.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Linnea Olsen, and I'm the Global Product Manager for Fiber Drums, and I'm located in the US. Fiber drums have a broad range of applications in food packaging and are suitable both for dry and solid goods and semi-liquid and liquid goods, depending on the type of fiber drum used. Some examples of foods packaged in fiber drums in North America are dry goods such as spices, food ingredients, additives, different flavorings, nut butters such as peanut, almond, etc., and then sweet and savory condiments, ketchup, barbecue sauce, chocolate syrup on the sweeter side, and then vegetable juices, concentrates, jams and jellies, and different types of tomato products. The three drum types most commonly used for dry and solid food products are lock rim, all-fi, and roll-con, and the two latter being all fiber constructions. All of these constructions can be made with barriers and/or liners, or with a bag inside. Lock rim, liquid pack, I'm back. Thank you, Cheryl. Lock rim, liquid pack, or harvest pack, cold flow and hot flow are used for semi-liquid and liquid applications, with liquid pack being the construction suitable for pure liquids. These drum types are made with interior liners as standard, and extra barrier protection can be added to protect from environmental impact. The hot flow design has a removable top and bottom for use with thick setting pasty products. In terms of suitability of the drum construction material for food applications, the kraft paper used to manufacture fiber drums meets FDA requirements for food packaging. We also offer chimes made with stainless steel and poly overlays, as well as interior liners that also meet FDA requirements for food packaging. Moisture and oxygen barriers can be spun into the sidewall of the drum, and plastic or aseptic bags can be used inside the drums. Greif produces commercially clean fiber drums, and we offer vacuuming and wiping services of the drum prior to leaving our facilities. Thank you. I'll hand over to Luca.
Thank you, Linnea. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Luca Brittoni. I'm based in Italy. I'm the Global IBC Product Manager and coming also from the plastic substrate. So here a small introduction about the plastic range of drums and jerrycans, which are now really heavily used. I would say that a quarter of our sales today are dedicated for the food industry, and specifically in honey, syrups, flavors, beverages, semi-solids, peanut butter, or reuse or vesting. So really the number of applications for plastic drums and jerrycans is really now larger and larger and growing every time, thanks to the good compatibility with the plastic for food applications. So we have many shapes and many dimensions. So for example, we are producing tight head drums, which are mainly used for lipids, so different colors and different type of dimension and sizes and different type of closures. Then we have for paste or semi-solids product, the open head drums, which are also available in the version of the next drum, which is not a blow molded drum, but is a specific injected and welded drum. You can see that we have really opportunity to have plastic or steel rings, depending on the application and the opening by the users in received and different type of materials. So really following the continuous improvement concept that has been raised by Gonul before. So you see that many solutions which are coming from real customer demand. So then a big range of jerrycans from 1 to 30 liters, different type of colors, different type of coax technology, single layer, multi-layer, and then also similar to the steel drum concept, also the nestable drum, so the conical one, which can be inserted one into the other. Confirming the big variety of product. Moving to the next slide, you see the details of how we build it up, and for example, how we do it in a multi-layer technology, because now the demand is for certain product is also to have the inner line or of our packaging without colors, because some products can be colored because they are quite strong in attractive the pigment or anyway. So the color that are used in every production that we have are really suitable for food contact, and this is really a must for our application. So you can really choose depending on the type of need, the different type of solution, and entering in the details also the different type of closures, and very important for the food defense and the food safety, also the different type of sealings that we can apply on our closures. So really many details that we can you can have really later on if you will be interested on this. Moving ahead, entering now to the IBC world, because also the IBCs are really now growing in terms of application in the food industry, because also in this case, the good compatibility of the material and the concept behind our specific GCUBE model. So also in this case, different applications similar to the one that we had. I would like to concentrate on the fact that now we are also entering now in dairy and edible oils on top of what has been listed also before by other products, and now also fruit concentrate. So really a larger variety of application on IBCs. Which type of IBCs we have? So we have many, and for example, we have the dedicated blow molded IBC for the food industry is our GCUBE food, where every single detail is really studied or is coming from customer feedbacks, and basically we have achieved one of the best conditions for guaranteeing to the field product to have zero risk or the minimum risk of potential contamination. So GCUBE Flex is one of the latest development that we had, because with the GCUBE Flex we can even enter in fillings which are aseptic, and in this case, instead of having a blow molded bottle by polyethylene, we have really a combination of different elements, so the external structure of GCUBE, and then a big bag containing a flexible liner, aseptic one, with a top filling or bottom filling and also a bottom discharging. So in this case, is a pre-assembled container that you can connect to the filling lines, and then keeping the aseptic condition. And then, because in the food industry, we need also to prevent some permeation of gases or even oxygen from outside to inside in order to enlarge the shelf life of a filled product. Our GCUBE Shield is a specific IBC where we have also a barrier in the intermediate layer of our 3-layer technology, able to guarantee the minimum permeation of gases through polyethylene, which is a further protection on your product. Moving ahead, some small details on our of our IBC. So this is really an example about continuous improvements coming from customers' feedback. So customer feedbacks, they were asking for having a valve completely without any residual after the removal of the aluminum foil, so which is the seal, which is important for every expedition and then the shipment of your product. And in this case, we have developed a specific aluminum foil totally removable without any risk of residuals that can create contamination. And also the thumb screw, which is another big element, which is combining the safety during the shipment, so keeping the valve in a close position during, I don't know, a shipment in ISO containers. But in case of removal of the screw, a metal screw is very well accepted in the food industry, because in case easily detectable by metal detectors, which is not the case of plastic pins that can enter and fall into the product in this case. So easy to use, very clean, and everything studied to have a perfect compatibility with field product. Moving ahead. This is showing that the food level is not achieved only through the product, but also through the environment where we are producing it. And this is an example about the perfect combination, for example, of sites on the left pictures where we are producing and assembling all the IBC components like valves and lids, which are FSSC 22000 approved. And on the right, for example, the pictures of our facility in the Netherlands, in Ede, where it is one of the only plant where IBC blow molders are running in a cleaned room. So in this case, achieving the highest level of cleanliness and protection, but through the entire supply chain. Consider that in those sites, we have even also achieved the approval for customers which are operating also in the baby food industry, recognizing the high cleanliness of our environment. So confirmation that the Greif is heavily investing in this direction, and also the sites are following the design of our products. So I will hand over now to Juan, which will drive us to the flexible solution. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Luca. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Juan Bernal. I'm the Global Product Manager for the Division of Flexible Products and Services. So in the coming 4 slides, I'm going to walk you through some of the products that we have in our portfolio, specifically, of course, looking into the food segments and sub-segments. So when we are talking about flexible products and services in general, we are looking into FIBCs, right? Within the food segment, we are looking into sub-segments as grains, seeds, beans, fine powders, infant food, just as Luca mentioned as well, mainly used for FIBCs as well, solid food, paste, and eatable oils. Now we can move to the next one, Cheryl, thank you. So in this one, what I would like to show you is one of the examples. We have several lines of products that could be used for food, but I'm going to take this opportunity to show you 2 main product lines. This main product line is actually the consequence of quite a customer research. So we understanding what are the needs of our customers who want to use FIBCs in order to transport or store food. We understood where were the, let's say, the needs or the pains of our customers and how our product should be designed in order to deal and to improve the performance in those areas. So let's go quickly through, let's say, the 7 points that this product took into account and how we tackle that. I will come back to you on that. So first of all, of course, we look into when we are transporting very thin powders, and you can mention, for example, cocoa, or you can, for example, coffee, you need to, of course, prevent leakages from the FIBC. So leak-free transportation indeed was one of our main priorities. A reduction in the contamination risk, materials coming inside the FIBC, and improve moisture ingress protection, like liquids, water on the floor, coming inside the FIBC and affecting, of course, the quality of the food that it has been stored or is transported within this FIBC. The customer handling of the FIBC itself, of course, when we are talking about thin powders, we know that this makes things difficult if the FIBC has not been designed properly. Same thing applies for the stability of the given FIBC. We looked as well into the recyclability of such a solution, because we know this comes more and more relevant in the, let's say, in the agenda of our customers within the food industry. How recyclable is my solution, my packaging solution, right? And last but not least, we look into improving the storage capability of these FIBCs. All in all, we came with a proposal, let's say, and this is a product line that you can find in our website, and I will be more than glad to answer any questions on this. The Seal Guard. This is our first FIBC that is actually produced not by hand, but is produced by a machine. It's automatically produced with, of course, all kind of advantages that you can imagine due to this, let's say, production method. As Luca mentioned before, in the case of a Seal Guard and the upcoming example as well, all this is produced within clean room conditions, meaning it's perfectly useful and compatible with applications within the food industry. So this was the first example we would call Seal Guard. Now we can move to the second example I would like to bring to your attention today. In this case, what we found out was customers that are storing or transporting products ranging from baby food, right, baby formula, to seeds or maybe even rice or nuts like cashew nuts or like hazelnuts. They are mainly looking into something and is shelf life, right? How do I extend, how do I control the shelf life of my product? So because of this main insight that we got, we start looking into the technology is called MAP, modified atmosphere packaging. And then we thought, okay, how can we make a FIBC, so a bulk solution to operate with such a technology? And then we came exactly, as you can see in number 0.2, into a MAP solution for large volumes. But not only that, a MAP solution that would have the industry leading quality standard. And this for a very simple reason. After our studies, customers and market, we found out actually there was a space for improvement, some room for improvement into the quality of the FIBC, because logically, as you can imagine, if you're modifying the atmosphere inside the FIBC, this atmosphere is only going to stay modified as long as the FIBC itself and the integrity of the FIBC itself stays constant. At some point where you have a quality issue with this, you are going to have a problem with your modified atmosphere. So this was one of our main focus, create the best FIBC for MAP applications in the industry. We look as well, not only, of course, on the FIBC, but the whole system. And then we created a proposal for customers that do not have already a gas or a vacuum solution as a one-stop shop, providing very good speed of processing. Of course, they hazard-free because the whole system is already integrated. And last but not least, in number 7, is safe and easy to use atmospheric at this point, because we understood, as I said before, is not only extending your shelf life, is controlling your shelf life. And the only way you can do this is, of course, knowing what is the current status of the atmosphere inside your FIBC. So for that, the design included as well a very easy to use atmospheric test point. And with this, we came with a concept of what we call now the MAP guard as well. You can find it in our website, all details of this product, and I will be more than glad to answer any questions on this. The MAP guard, as I said, it ranges from products from baby food to seeds, nuts, rice, and of course, it comes with a full range of liners, depending on the application, depending on what you want to achieve. And indeed, now I'm moving to the liner part, the liner technology. As I mentioned before, and actually coming back to the previous 2 examples, the only way how we could achieve such a high level of performance and quality is due to our know-how on liner technology. The liner in the end is that barrier that protects your food when they are being stored or they are being transported inside an FIBC. For that, we're mainly looking into films that are having oxygen barrier, that are having liquids that protect the material inside FIBC against liquids, control the aromas either coming out or coming in. You could think of, for example, coffee, protects against moisture coming in inside FIBC, the electrostatic buildup, and of course, gas migration. In this case, what we do is we have, let's say, a completely vertical structure to come with the best possible solution for you. We understand the application, we come with a design and a formulation of the best liner, and we can produce it internally in our factories with state-of-the-art equipment to answer exactly the application. We provide you with the ideal liner for that, of course, in one of our FIBCs. And then we can move to the last slide where I wanted to show you, just give you some feeling for what kind of materials we are able to work with when we are talking about liners in the FIBC industry. We are looking into PE, of course, HDPE, PA. When you are, of course, looking into applications where the barrier becomes more relevant as a requirement of the application, we can look into EVO-H, of course. And of course, depending on the type of FIBC, these liners could be conductive, permanent antistatic, standard antistatic. Which time forms, form factors, we could be looking into the form feed, form stable or tubular. As I said before, all these simply because we have the whole vertical production end to end, and we can create the liner and the FIBC as your application requires. With this, I conclude the presentation on the flexibles, and I give the word to Jane.
Thank you, Juan. Good morning from Washington State. Again, my name is Jane Jennings, and I'm going to be talking to you this morning about Greif's paper packaging solutions. Greif's PPS group, or Paper Packaging and Services Group, manufactures 100% recycled paperboard, paper coatings, corrugated sheets, and protective products that are converted for food packaging. We also manufacture boxes that are used for many food products. Some of the commonly used industries that we serve are listed on this slide. You'll see beverages, snack foods, meat and proteins, pastas, as well as agriculture. On the next slide, Bill is going to talk to you about our latest paperboard certificate.
Thank you, Jane. Again, I'm Bill Dorr. I'm with our PPS division in the United States of Greif, and we're the division that manufactures the substrates. Earlier in the webinar, I had described the certification that we get from the Recycled Paperboard Technical Association. And that certificate allows us to provide, I guess, assurance to the customers. But within the factory, we do offering this year is the ability to also license and label and affix labels to our products, so that on a factory floor where the substrates are being used, it can now be assured that from a visual standpoint, the proper certified product is being converted into the finished packaging. So again, it's a new offering we've come out with this year. I shouldn't say we, the Recycled Paperboard Technical Association came out with, and they've allowed member companies like ourselves, like Greif, to license the use of this artwork and affix it to our products. Again, just for improved assurance. And that's a visual of it right there. And Jane, back to you. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Bill. All right, the PPS group has 4 product lines that are used for food packaging. The first is our 100% recycled, coated, and uncoated paperboard. These paperboard products are produced using only recycled fibers, making the product 100% recyclable. We sell these products to converters who produce a wide array of packaging items. Some examples are grocery store prepackaged foods like cereals, energy bars, and frozen foods. Some of our customers manufacture to-go boxes that are used in grocery stores as well as in restaurants. Others manufacture containers and partitions for the beverage industry. And in some applications, we apply functional coatings to our products. That brings me to my next product line, our coated paper solutions. These functional coatings are used for bakery release products, such as cakes, brownies, and pies, oil and grease resistant applications, like the pizza box that you see on the slide, and wax replacement. Our wax replacement solutions are used for seafood boxes, meat boxes, and outdoor packaging. Greif manufactures separator and pallet sheets in our group of specialty converting mills across the US. We have many customers that use these sheets as can and glass separators in food and beverage plants. These sheets are specially engineered to provide exceptional performance and protection as layers between products and for covering pallets. The last product line I'll discuss with you this morning is our bulk corrugated packaging. We have a facility in Louisville, Kentucky that manufactures triple wall, octagonal, and rectangular boxes that safely store and transport products. You can find our boxes in meat processing plants, ingredient manufacturers, snack food companies, and they're also used to ship and store produce. Last year alone, we manufactured over 2.3 million bins for varying produce commodities. Our triple wall produce bins are the only in-use packaging that we manufacture for direct food contact. As you can see in this slide, there's some examples of our produce bins at work. On the picture on the bottom, a farmer in Indiana has packaged his watermelons in our bins, stacked them 4 high in a warehouse where they're often stored for 7 to 10 days before being shipped via truck to grocery stores. In the second 2 pictures, these pictures depict a conversion opportunity we had a few years back. A produce farmer in Texas was interested in replacing the RPCs that he was using for his produce, and we were able to provide a 100% recyclable triple wall produce bin. Greif's PPS group is vertically integrated. We have a closed loop system for sourcing all of our raw material. As you can see on the diagram on the right, the first step of this process is our recycled fiber group sources raw materials that feed our mill systems. Then Greif's 13 mills make recycled paperboard, containerboard, linerboard, and recycled medium. These mill products are then sold to internal as well as external customers that apply functional coatings. They make corrugated sheets. They manufacture litho-laminated top sheets. They produce boxes, tubes, and cores, as well as protective packaging. And then as the last step, that our recycled fiber group picks up these recovered fibers from our converting facilities and places it back into the fiber stream. And then we just continually repeat. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and I welcome your questions.
Thank you, guys. I want to thank our panelists. You guys all have a wealth of knowledge that is integral to Greif's success in this marketplace, and I appreciate your time today to share your knowledge with us. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to type those in the chat section right now, and we will go ahead and entertain those. And while we are waiting for some of those to come in, I'm going to ask Luca if you could give me a little bit of an example about how do we work with customers to ensure the right product for the right fit. I mean, what kind of process do we go through with them to determine, which product solution would best fit their needs, and how do we work with them to accomplish that?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Sherry. Well, basically, here is sharing of information that we have together with our customer, because everything we build thanks to the fact that the customer share their needs, and then we develop the specific solution. So the main topics for the food industry is to understand the food level that they need to have, because as we described before, there is just the need for having food approved raw material to be used, but then there are also needs to achieve higher food standards, so the food defense, the food safety, and even the FSSC 22000. So depending also of this specific need, we can provide the right solution and the right sites where to deliver our product. The filling temperature is another important element, and also the needs are not about the permeation. And last but not least, the understanding if there is an aseptic filling or not to be achieved, because in this case, then we can address to the right solution. So the solutions are within Greif, and this matter really to understand all the details in order then to build up for every specific need the right solution that is needed.
Thank you very much for that. And Juan, how about from the flexible side, anything different there that you guys would entertain when you're working with a customer to identify the right product for their need and their fit?
Thank you, Cheryl. Effectively, is as Luca just explained, right? Is understanding the application, understanding the nature of the product, understanding what are the goals. This is a very important point. What are the goals of the customer? As I explained during one of the slides, it may be different in between, for example, extending the shelf life. You would have a different product, whereas you are just, let's say, having that same product for a short period of time and transporting it. So that, let's say, customer intimacy, understanding really what the customer wants to achieve, and how it wants to achieve, what are the limitations within his or her production, is effectively how we can come up with the best possible solution that it fits exactly what he or she needs.
No, that's great. We have a question here. I'm not sure if it's going to go to Juan or Luca, but we want a completely sealable plastic IBC container of 400 kilogram capacity to transport walnut in an MAP environment. So I'm not sure which one of you could maybe address that.
Well, I can start sharing. So in this case, the size of 400 liters is not one of our standards, but as I said, so let's investigate really the needs, and I can provide a feedback offline, and then to elaborate together a potential solution that can include other substrates. So maybe we can start with the plastic, but then I'm not excluding then to go to a flexible or to another solution. But we will come back offline.
Yeah, for sure. Those specific applications require a little bit more investigation. So we'll definitely reach out to you after this event and have someone contact you to talk a little bit further about that information. I guess one of my final questions for Larry and Gonal and Berend, I know you guys are constantly monitoring regulations that are occurring around the world, and how do you keep up to date and up to speed with everything that's happening? And is it something that changes frequently, or is it more pretty standard and steady in the world of regulations for food?
This is Larry. I'll start off. Yeah, it's constantly changing, but we keep up. And in fact, in SQF requirements, there is a requirements to constantly be knowledgeable and adjust to those legislation things. We have as a partner in the U.S. We have as a partner a food packaging law firm that offers routine communications about what's going on in the FDA and how it affects food packaging. And that's also one of my roles to keep up to date. Not that I'm a lawyer or anything, but it's one of my responsibilities to, with our legal department, to help us in interpreting any legislation out there that affects food packaging.
Anything different in other parts of the world?
For Europe, I can say that we are actively following food standards, but obviously also any other standards that affect the packaging industry. And some of those also get discussed during working group meetings of trade associations.
Perfect. I'm just going to let the panel, anyone else on the panel have anything that you would like to add before we start wrapping up our presentation for today? Great. All right, before we go, I'm going to launch a quick question here. I know we've covered a lot and it was a very high level overview. So if you would like a Greif representative to contact you, please just click the yes button and we'll be sure to reach out to you after this event is over. We want to thank you for attending today's event, and we want to encourage you to follow us on LinkedIn to keep up to date with all the new Discover Greif webinar events, as well as engage with us in all things important to industrial packaging. So with that, again, thank you for attending today, and we wish you a wonderful day. Take care.